Natalia is back to talk about a strange encounter inside her very home. A person who she believed was there was not. My name is Edwin. And here's a true scary story.
I live in Southern California, on the outer areas of busy downtown Los Angeles. I live in a house where I've lived in, I want to say I've been here for about 27 years. We have a pretty big house, and for some reason, there's always people living with us additionally. Like, it's not just me and my parents. There's always somebody else living. For example, right now, it's my uncle and his daughter in one room, and then my aunt and her daughter in another bedroom. So, like, the house is always occupied. And it's always my tenants, if you will, that are the ones that are always reporting having some type of experience. But for some reason, to us, who actually are the main people of the house, we just weren't really getting any of that. So my dogs, they're usually only inside the house when somebody's home. This one day, I was out with my parents, and we were in my car, and I told them, like, hey, I gotta go. We were coming back home from wherever the heck we were. I think we went to breakfast. And I told them, hey, I gotta go run some errands. I'm just gonna drop you off at home, and then I'm gonna take off. So I dropped them both off. My dad actually had to get to work later. So I figured he wasn't going to be home anymore by the time I got back. So I left, went to do my errands. I came back home, and sure enough, I noticed that my dad's car was gone, so he had gone to work. And then the driveway was empty, so my mom had just washed her car, so I figured she had put it into the garage, because she usually does. I start, making my way towards the front door or whatever. And I'm like, okay, I hear the dogs. So I come in, and sure enough, the two dogs, they greet me, and they're like all happy to see me. My dogs, they're hounds. So when they get excited, they'll howl and they'll bark really loud. And that's how they greet me. That's how they greet everybody that comes into the house. There's a hallway that eventually leads down to the rest of the house, where all the bedrooms are at. I'm coming down the hallway, and when I get to the end of the hallway, then it like splits up into 4 sections. So I have my room on the left side, and then next to that is my mom's bedroom, and on the other side I have the other 2 bedrooms. So as I'm coming down the hallway, when I want to make my way towards the left, towards my room, I saw somebody come and close my mom's door from the inside. Like, I was like, oh, my mom's probably on the phone, because that's what she does. Lock herself in the bedroom because the dogs are being loud or whatever. But I figured since the dogs were barking all the way down the hallway, she probably just doesn't want to be interrupted or whatever. So I'm like, okay, whatever. I'm just going to go straight into my bedroom. Anyway, that day I had gone to the pet store or whatever, and I had bought a sweater for my dog. So I was like, okay, I'm going to put it on, and I'm just going to let him go to my mom's room, and then she'll see him and think it's totally cute. I hear my front door open, or like somebody like rustling with the knob because they're trying to open it or unlock it. And that tends to happen a lot because we don't have the habit of locking the top, the deadbolt, but I do. I'm the only one that does that when I come home. So it's everyone's instinct that they're just going to unlock the bottom knob and open the door. So when I hear them struggling with it, is because they obviously didn't think to unlock the top. So I'm like, who the hell is home? My dad's gone. Like, my uncle, my aunt, all of them, they're not here. In fact, they're in El Salvador somewhere. They're not even in the country. So I'm like, what the heck? And I start making my way down the hallway to see who the heck is trying to open my door. Because I'm like, I'm home and mom's home. Who the heck? So I go and I open the door, the front door. And to my surprise, it was my mom coming home from the market. I swear that everything in me just left my body. I was so shocked to see my mom standing at the front door because this entire time I had no indication that she was not home. The dogs were inside the house. I saw somebody close her bedroom door. In fact, I saw shadow, I heard the door shut, and all of the above. And as I'm standing there trying to process, my mom's, can you help me with groceries? And I'm like, what? I was like, did you just get home? And she's, yeah. And I was like, but the dogs are inside. And she's, I literally went to the market for 5 minutes. I didn't think they were going to make a mess, so I left them inside. So everything was just so, it was all very natural and very innocent. You know what I mean? Like, I had no indication that my mom was not home. So there's no natural light really that comes into the hallway, because since it's a hallway, and since all the bedroom doors are like at the end, if all those doors are closed, which by the way, they were all closed, except for my mom's. They were all closed. That's the only light that comes into the hallway. And then we have windows, big windows inside of the bedrooms. So it's hard to describe it without actually having you see it. But okay, so if I'm in the hallway and I'm like adjacently or diagonally looking towards my mom's door, the light from her big window in her room, which she always keeps open, it shines in a lot of light. So if somebody comes up and closes the door, like, you see that silhouette, you see the shadow. And that's exactly what I saw. Like, I saw like the silhouette or the shadow of a person in the stature, so more or less like my mom, a small person, and just pushed the door, and I heard the door close. And you know how, like, when you're seeing somebody walk up from a lit room and you only see silhouette, when on the floor, like on the carpet, you actually see like the shadows of their legs and their feet? I saw all of that. And I saw the movement of the arms and the hands pressing up against the door to close it, but it was a very gentle close. So I totally believe that it was her in the bedroom who shut the door because the dogs were too loud. And now I start to think, what if I had gone and greeted her in the bedroom first, which is what I usually do? I don't know what the heck I would have seen. Or even worse, what I would not have seen. Or like I said, over the years, people have talked about different things that they felt or seen or heard in my house. Recently, this is probably, I don't know if it's because I'm more hyper aware now or what it is, but I'm more aware of it. I don't know what's the difference now, but however, recently we've done some change of owners and stuff like that amongst our family, and we had to pull up the history and the paperwork on the house. We didn't get full details, but we did notice that the house changed owners like 3 or 4 times in the span of maybe a year or 2 years. Which, in talking to the realtor, they're like, the only time something like that happens is if there's a death or something else happened in between all of that. So I don't know if somebody did actually pass away in the house. We have no idea. We've been meaning to get those records, but a part of us is just a little nervous to actually really find out what happened. So we're just leaving it at that for now.
Other occurrences have taken place inside that house, and Natalia is willing to share them with us. Let me know what you think, and find me on TrueScaryStory.com to record your own creepy encounter. Until next time, thank you very much for listening.